focus on a lot of individual companies. Savory snack maker, Bikaji in focus. Remember recently there was a Nuvama note as well, which initiated coverage on the company and spoke about the strong growth potential. Bikaji itself has given a 13 to 15% sort of volume target for this year with about 0.5% EBITDA margin expansion as well. In the middle of the second quarter now, how is demand? How is the business panned out so far? To give us a bit of a lowdown and an outlook, we have Manoj Verma, who's the COO at the company, joining in. Thanks a lot, Manoj, for joining in. Always a pleasure speaking with you. And that really is the first question. What exactly is the demand situation that you saw in the first quarter? Do you maintain your volume target of 13.5%, revenue target of almost 18% for this year?
First of all, thank you very much and good morning to you all. Now, coming on to the growth, I talk about, so there certainly was some mild slowdown last year, which industry witnessed. But the good thing is that there's an uptick in the quarter one this year, and this is both across rural and urban. With forecast of normal monsoons, this trend is likely to sustain. That's how we look at it. The numbers, what we have done is, from our budgeting perspective, we would go with what we have spoken about. And I'm sure time will tell, and teams would really work hard to if we surpass these numbers.
All right. So early mid-teens growth, early to mid-teens growth is what we should work with in terms of volume growth?
Yeah. So this would certainly be higher than the category growth. That's the internal numbers, how we look at it, basically. So if the category grows even faster, we'll have to further jack it up.
All right. The fear is hopefully the category doesn't grow slower, but it seems people are snacking enough. But while they snack, they'll also be looking at pricing. And we have seen that some input costs have moved up a little bit. Is that, how do you see that panning out? Have you managed to push through some price increases? If yes, could you quantify it?
So if you look at it, last year there was quite a relief which we got. So prices had come down big time, after continued 6 quarters price increase and increase. So what we did was that we passed on these price benefits to the consumer in the form of, say, consumer offers, 10% off, so on and so. And that resulted in, if you look back last year, our volume growth were higher than the value growth. This is one of many years kind of a case which it happened. Now this year in quarter one, what we've done is that we've pulled back or rolled back few of our consumer offers, and which is the kind of a price increase as well. We're managing the pricing very well in terms of the way our purchase teams have done their job. So we don't see price increase as much a challenge. And if time comes, we are ready in terms of passing it to the consumer. But for now, there's not much of a change.
All right. And what about the margins then? Because X of PLI, you had a target of about 0.5% improvement in margins. That would take your margins from last year to this year at around 14%. Is that very well on the cards?
That's what we said, yes.
Okay. What about utilization? I mean, last known number was close to around 40 to 45% of the overall capacity that you had installed. What's your utilization ramp-up target for the next couple of years? And by when do you reach the peak revenue potential of close to 4,500 crores?
So last year, if you look at the kind of volume growth we have delivered, and now we are at about 44-45% capacity utilization. The target for ourselves is about 13 to 15% volume increase year on year, and this would stand for next 2 to 3 years kind of a stuff, which eventually should take these numbers, to about 65-70% utilization. As we hit 80% will be the time wherein we'll start looking for further expansion kind of things.
There was some outstanding amount that you received from the government with regard to PLI, right? Have you received it?
No, so we have already received for 2 years. For third year, we have filed it this year in April. I think in a couple of months' time, we should get that money.
And the quantum was what, 40-45 crores?
That's correct.
All right. What about the overseas market? Currently, it's a very small part of your pie, but say in the next 3 to 5 years, where does this mix go to, I mean, in terms of exports?
So, yes, exports market is not a very big pie of our business. It contributes to about 3.5%. Going forward, also, the percentage contribution would not move very high because the kind of growth what we are looking for domestic markets as well is more or less in line. But yes, we would look forward in next 3 to 4 years, we should be doubling this the exports business for us.
The acquisition that you made of Bhujia Lalji about a year ago, you were looking at revenues of almost 100 crores coming in from their business by FY26. Is that still on the cards? What did FY24 end at for Bhujia Lalji? And what is the target for FY25?
So we were looking at 100 crore revenue by 27. That's what was we said 5 years time, right? It's well on track. In fact, now if you look at last year also, they've done well. And in Q1 also, it's the numbers are in line with what the budget we had for this brand. This was a strategic acquisition which Bikaji made to have a brand B strategy, and is working well for us.
All right. And, generally when we speak to you, we also speak through you for the industry. You spoke about the industry growing at a certain rate and you trying to grow faster than that at around 13 to 15% itself. So I just wanted to know, how big are your other unlisted peers? Because, when everyone speaks about the ethnic snacks space, there is a lot of chatter around Haldiram's, etc. So from your understanding, how big do you think their business could be, and the margins that those guys would be, reporting as against you all?
See, this category is very huge, and that's why, it is catching eyes now. That's one. Yes, there are listed, very few listed players and large unlisted players as well. When we talk about the way category is growing, is basically the need some Nielsen data, some industry experts. That's what kind of data we refer to. Talking about the bottom line margins, I think the companies who are primarily into the Western snacks or high contribution of Western snacks would be a single-digit EBITDA margin. That's what we believe. And the companies who are very well organized would be, say, around 16 plus kind of EBITDA margins. I mean, that's the room wherein these EBITDA margins would be played.
And what would their revenues be according to you?
Yeah, sorry?
What would their revenues be according to you, Haldiram's?
Sorry, I'll not be able to comment. I would not have, because Haldiram is also in some merger. It's Haldiram Nagpur, Haldiram Delhi entities. Then, they have their QSR business, and also it's not reported as well.
Would they be twice your size at least?
But yes, they're I think, multiple times of what we are. Much, much bigger.
All right. Final question before we let you go. What's the market share in both your core as well as your focus markets as per your estimate or guesstimate?
So overall, if traditional snacks we talk about, we are about 8.59% market share at a pan-India level, wherein, if we speak about in our core states, it's about 45% market share. And in our focus states, it's much low. It's less than or close to 2%.
All right. Just one final question then, because you said that there are multiple of your revenue. Just roughly, is it 4 times? Is it 3.5 times? Just trying to understand, largely because you last year did revenues of close to 2,200 crores and your market cap is roughly $2 billion. The reports that are going around suggest Haldiram's valuation to be around $8 billion. So are they 4 times your revenue to command that sort of valuation?
So they would be around 4 times. That's true. I think this is where our guess is.
All right, take that point. Thank you so much for joining in and giving us an outlook into your business, holding on to your growth numbers as well. And through you, we get to understand or get a snack of what the Indian ethnic snacks market looks like as well. Always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
With that, we'll shift focus to a special segment where we get you ideas